yet. Yeah, I say that. Get out. Yeah, you don't. This is no. You don't come on here and jump on. Yeah, I guess so. Joe's kind of spoiled it for everyone. We're on, so there goes the witty banner before.
I saw the red light.
The show. There's no red light. That's just.
No, that's a reflection from my car.
There you go. He's telling his untruths again. We are not at Star Hill Dairy Market downtown today. We are God's country, really. Let's all turn our back on the camera. That's got to be a faux pas.
Yeah, for sure.
We are out at Pigeon Forge. There is so much activity going on around us. A lot of power equipment, power tools, just tools. That wasn't nice. Love you. Kid, because I care.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so we're out here at the Pillar and Perch house on Pigeon Forge.
Pigeon Top.
Pigeon Top.
Yeah, we're not at Dollywood.
Out in Whitehall.
Be on top.
Whitehall, yeah. So I think the folks that are kind of in charge of everything are still wandering around, but this event kicks
I think
off.
Joe's in charge. He's sponsoring it, right?
If you bring the sandwiches, you're in charge. I think it's the rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, but
Anyway.
happy to write a check.
Oh, well, hey.
Right here, big fella. Hey, I'm sorry about all that stuff I said. Yeah, so we're going to be up here for a few minutes today, checking in with folks, getting a few different people here as we grab them as they're moving around and about. There's some Station C folks that are here. There's, like I said, Pillar and Perch folks that are here. We are highlighting and what's the other word I want to use? Highlighting and what?
Spotlighting.
Spotlighting to go with another one, though. Anyway, we're here showing off this house, and there's another house.
Showcasing.
That's it.
Yes.
Showcasing. All right. You see, that's why I can't do this alone. I don't want to do this alone, Joe.
Every Robin needs his
I mean, the
Batman.
house is great, but I think the best
Robin.
part is
That's what I said.
Yeah.
The Batman.
So yeah, I think
This
Sarah
thing.
nailed it. We the house is great, but the view that's the $1 million view right there. So.
Yep.
So Joe, tell us what Intercoastal Mortgage is doing in the role you're playing out here today for this showcase event.
Well, no, we're sponsoring it, trying to have a little lunch, get some folks out. Trying to answer some questions on, with the new build that's about to happen, the listing that just went on the market with Josh. We've actually already had some inquiries on that one, and it's my job just to step people through the process and let them know how it works, what they need. In this case, they've already got the plans, they've already got the builder. Really, they just need to call me and get qualified. So that typically in a construction situation, they're gonna go through their pre-qualification. Then they're gonna go out and find their builder and work on their architect and work on their plans and specs, and then come back to me for an appraisal. In this case, that part's already done. So I think obviously there can be some tweaks on the new build, but
Is a new build mortgage different, more difficult, easier, less difficult? I mean,
Are you
walk
asking me?
through that. I'm asking you. Yeah. Wear the sunglasses. They're
I mean, you have
Sorry,
been through it, so what did
I
you
have been
think?
through it. Well, it's just more steps. You get the construction loan, the land loan, and then that rolls to a construction loan, which is usually a 12-month loan, extended sometimes up to 16 or 18 if you're lucky.
Correct.
And then you roll that into a mortgage.
I need an assistant. Just kidding, T.
You should just get kicked in the shin.
No,
That's
I mean
me.
she nailed it. She nailed
me.
it. That's
Yeah.
I
You could
mean,
be her assistant.
no, it's. I would
Who runs
love
the
it.
world, Nathan?
Exactly.
Good.
I would
haven't
love
seen
it.
Barbie yet, but I hear it's the ladies.
Okay. Yeah. We'll get you there.
Destroy
apparently.
the patriarchy. That's what my 17-year-old said. Very first thing. I said, how's Barbie? She goes, destroy the patriarchy.
Well, most people lose interest in patriarchy once we decide it's not about the horses.
The horses?
You got to see the movie.
Okay.
You got to see it.
Yeah. To answer your question, there are more steps.
More steps.
No,
Is it, how about qualification? Is it?
no. Qualifications is. I mean, if you qualify for it, you qualify for it, right?
Yeah.
Or for the final loan amount, or the final project amount. But
But it's nice to have someone to hold your hand because you got to sign a lot of stuff.
yep.
Yeah.
Don't know what it means.
So the biggest difference between this and a normal conforming loan would be, there's a what's called a draw schedule, and so the builder and the builder, the lender, and the borrower or the owners, They all agree on a draw schedule up front, which is going to be how the project is funded. And then every time there's work completed and their builder requests a draw, somebody goes out, an inspection is done to make sure that everything's been done properly and all the money's been used properly. And then we move on to the next step. So they fund that part, and then we go to step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, however many. Usually there's up to 6 draws. So that's the biggest difference, I'd say.
Just getting that set up.
Yep.
All right, well, cool. Well, then we've got our mortgage, but the first thing we got to do is find our land, right? And that's Josh.
Just call Josh.
He's walking around over there. You ever watch the old Johnny Carson show?
Yes.
You never see what happens to
Here's
the old
Johnny.
guest when the new guest comes?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that.
It's good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Love you, Joe.
Da-na-da-da-na, da-na-na-na-na. Da-na. Yeah, we'll be in the green room. Da-na-da-da. We're playing you on. Da-da. Hey, everybody.
Hello. How are
He
you
is.
guys?
Just called Josh.
Yes.
So we just finished talking to Joseph Miller, mortgage extraordinaire. But like we said, until you get the land and the house, Joe doesn't.
You don't need Joe.
Yeah, you don't need Joe. He doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything to the world.
That's harsh.
Well, it's harsh, but he gets it.
A lot of times I'll set buyers up with the lender as early as possible.
Really? So I was completely wrong.
Because I might be wasting my time showing land, showing houses if they don't qualify.
You don't want
Well,
to
you,
walk
can,
around.
you can ask me again
and-
on this one.
yeah.
I just called Josh first. Josh is the one who started my
Yeah.
whole
So
process.
you guys work
Then-
together.
And
on
he
that?
immediately hooked me up with a lender and an attorney. And yeah, I don't want to waste Josh's time.
There's a lot of good people that have got on speed dial. So if you need to get linked up with somebody, there's an excellent chance I can hook you up with some of the best people.
How rare is this? Or is this just a matter of knowing Josh and then what's this?
So-
I guess this view wasn't this view.
It
before you
wasn't
guys
this view.
did
It was
this
all
stuff, right?
trees.
This land is really
My land.
special, and what they've done and the view that you see here it did not look like this 2 years ago or whenever it was that we first looked at this land. But we did come up here in the winter, so you could just barely see
a good
that
idea.
horizon line through a lot of trees. And what's the expression? You can't see the forest for the trees. Well, it's like you couldn't see the ridgeline and the views because of the forest. So it's coming up in the winter makes a big difference when it comes to a land
Yeah.
search. And if at all possible, you either have to have somebody that really intimately knows the area and knows that these views are out there by looking at a topo map and
This guy loves
being
the topo map.
familiar with as an example, something else that I have done when I'm looking at a topo map and I say, I think there are actually views. I will be in the Albemarle GIS. I will look at the topo and say, all right, there's another house right next door. Then I go back into my Realtor MLS and I find the last time that house sold. And if I'm really lucky, there are pictures. And there might be, 50 pictures, but one of them actually boasts about
There it
the
is.
view. And then I look at the view and I say, well, that's at 700 feet, and this house is at 800 feet, and it has very similar topo, so there's an excellent chance you're going to pick up the same view just by kind of reverse engineering,
Right.
reverse sleuthing,
Yep.
and doing that due diligence to find
It's called
out.
experience, mess.
Yep.
Well, it's like you're in elementary school learning topo maps and you think, I'm never going to use this. And then you meet Josh
Yeah.
and you're
and-
glad you paid attention.
And at a certain point in the past, my friend and I realized all of the best vacations that we take involve the use of topo maps.
There you go.
We're going out in the woods.
special guy, folks.
We are
very
looking
special.
for a new rock to climb, or there's a river that's going to go down through a canyon. So we're checking the map beforehand, and there's so much more information available, and social media to link up with people who have been other places.
Right.
Now there's Google Maps, but I'm a little bit old school, and actually looked and learned and navigated bushwhacking with topo maps. And I'll do the same thing a lot of the time with a lot of the land in the area. If it's in Albemarle County or northern Nelson or within 45 minutes of Charlottesville, there's an excellent chance that if there's a property on the market, I've I'm familiar with it, and I've looked at a topo map. And then at some point in my, lifetime in Charlottesville, I may have even gone bushwhacking on that property or close by, or ridden a road bike by it. But that reminds me of another funny story. Another expression that I've heard is, my best vacation is your worst nightmare, unless you are also a kind of full-time adrenaline junkie and really like going out and exploring and bushwhacking and all that stuff. So, but anyway, yeah, we were on this exact site a couple years ago, and the clients that I had really wanted to have a mountaintop property. They love the road, Clark Road, that's at the bottom of the hill here. It's just 5 miles of twisty, turny, beautiful dirt road, and it's some of the most scenic biking and running and jogging and just driving in Albemarle County. And having been on a lot of the roads in Albemarle County on bicycles and just driving around looking at property, I can verify that this place is definitely special. We're looking at Shenandoah National Park. We're kind of looking back towards the Sugar Hollow Reservoir and the famous Blue Hole hike.
Yeah.
So we're only maybe 10 minutes tops from the Blue Hole hike, trailhead, Sugar Hollow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not sure if you can see it in frame here, but I can actually see Skyline Drive from around the corner. There's a little green stretch that you can see on the ridgeline there, but that is Shenandoah National Park.
What do you think the odds are that if we got a
here.
hang glider, we could just get a running start and make it there?
Do you-
I feel like you would try
I think
that.
we
here.
could fashion one right now.
Yeah, I think we could.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the guy to do it. He does something with sport boating.
I think
Yes,
it would be.
exactly.
I think it would be a lot easier to start up there and land maybe right here in this nice yard. That'd be
That's the
a little easier.
November. We're going to do that for a November
Yeah.
episode.
Yep.
It's going to be
Tune in.
watching Josh
Yeah.
make his way in.
I'll have to make some calls. It's not going to be me, but I've got some friends that are just now getting into paragliding.
Oh, yeah. And there's
so,
dudes around here that do that.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
We're talking about with the little big fan on the back, right?
This is sort of like
What are you
well,
What's that called?
that's kind of like Danny Deck chair. He's
Right.
got like the fan on
It's
his
like
back,
a
and he's
swamp boat thing
there's a whole
on the
movie
back.
about
You mean
it.
like
Yeah.
the jetpack?
No,
No, it's like so imagine what's the thing that they run through the swamp?
fan boat. It's an
The fan,
airboat.
yeah, the fan,
Oh my God,
the big
stop.
fan on
The
the
big
back.
one?
Yeah, except
I
they
know
put
guys running to
they.
do it.
I do have a friend that actually
Someone's
has one
gonna
of
lose
those.
a finger.
My best man for my wedding, Eric Hurt.
He's gonna be
Great
hurt.
local film photographer, but
right.
he's got a backpack.
backpack.
He's got a backpack
With like a
fan, and it's like
motor.
it's maybe like a 3-foot diameter fan that he puts on his back, and he's got a thing, and it's because you have the power, you can actually take off if you have just the right wind from a very
Yeah.
tight area, and then
They get
up above the
Got
trees.
the backpack, and they can
Yeah.
crank it up. And then
And how do you
you've got
come
the,
down?
Like a little handle that does the.
Slowly and carefully.
Yeah, but do you have control? Are you is the
Yes.
fan
Yeah,
still
it's just
going?
like it's just like a parachute. Like a
The
parachute.
glide ratio on all
do
of
it.
these is
That's fine.
a really long glide ratio, so
Yeah, these dudes they go all
It's
over
good
the
to go.
place, and then you can just land in a Dairy Queen parking lot.
Yeah.
You just kind of land, run, and
Not Dairy Queen.
On the
Not
left.
very vegan of you.
And
you can land a botanical.
Thank you.
I kind of wish I had one of those because then I could scout even more lands and figure out what it looks like.
If you don't have one of those by this time next year, you failed in life, Josh. I can't see. This is
Yeah.
the dude that you need that. Why
You
would
do need that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can write that off.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I want to
100%.
try that once.
Please consult your tax accountant.
Yeah.
They call Josh boots on the ground. And
Yes.
when I met him, he was in
can
an
be boots in the
actual
air.
boot, like a surgical
that's
boot.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "We're gonna go look at this mountaintop property," and he would scale mountains in this boot. And I'm like, if Josh has an accident, how am I gonna get him down? But he doesn't care.
boot.
And-
It was a peg leg,
Okay,
and I
it
was
was peg leg.
supposed to be using it. Like I actually had a like an ankle surgery, so I had to have weight off of it. But then I had this peg leg that
Yeah, you had
strapped
a
onto my
literal peg
thigh,
leg.
and I kind of walked
I mean,
around.
it was wild.
amazing.
But that's what sets Josh apart
Yeah.
is because he knows these properties and he's willing to do
Yeah.
the work.
Yeah.
To
I
I was
get
like,
you
I
that
need
view.
to be. I was instructed to do PT anyway and walk around on it
Sure.
and move it. So
What's better than a peg
why
leg
not
on the
just
side of a
go
mountain?
back to
Yeah.
work?
With Officer Messer here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I
that
see
was
your
the
license?
first time we met.
Yeah, it was the first time.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Down in North
That's when you
Garden.
know you've got a guy that's committed.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
fully committed.
And you guys, So there's 1, 2 houses.
Houses here.
But you guys
houses.
have another one.
That way,
We're pointing
right?
up the hill.
Yes.
If you could see this, it's amazing.
Beautiful.
There's another. You got something going on up there?
So yeah, there's this is a 5-acre property, and we're in the bigger house. There's another 5-acre property next door with a slightly smaller house on it, and then we also have an 8-acre property that is right next to these and a little bit further up Pigeon Top Trail.
So the view will be even better.
It's maybe
Just say yes. They
yeah,
don't
it's
know.
about 100 feet higher. So yes,
infinity
it could
pool.
be an even bigger, better view. It's going to need a little bit of clearing, but like Pillar and Perch and everything these guys have done up here, they've really got everything figured out. So again, I'm not sure what exactly is in frame here, but you can see that they were really able to open up an incredible view here. And I've got topo maps with me right now, as a matter of fact.
In his pocket.
Because I wanted
course
to,
you do.
double check that, like, oh yes, all right, we're sitting here on the land. We can figure out where we are using a little blue GPS dot and determine, all right, here's the Albemarle County GIS lines, here's the building site. They've got the back edge surveyed at the highest part of the property, so they know exactly which trees to take down to open up the view, or
Yeah.
somebody might come in that just doesn't want the view.
Wants to be in the middle
They
of
just
the
want to
trees.
be completely private. The really amazing thing about the 8-acre property next door is the adjacent parcel is owned and protected by the Nature Conservancy.
Oh, well, there you go.
Wow.
And that's 144 acres.
You know it's
So
always be there.
there's never going to be anything
No neighbors.
on the other side of you. There's a lot of property in Albemarle County that is protected forever by conservation easements,
Right.
which is one of the reasons that Albemarle County is staying beautiful. It is sometimes difficult to get development done
Right.
because there's a lot of overlays of regulations, but the regulations that they have in place are what continue to make Albemarle County beautiful and
gives us this.
will be in perpetuity.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All these big builders. I mean, sorry, Ben.
I mean, there's not going to be, a neighborhood down here with houses right on top of each other. So,
Phew.
the person that really wants to have property up here is going to be somebody that really values their privacy and not having any neighbors, really. I mean, you're going to drive past these houses as you go up there, but then you're the very last house
Perfect
at
for
the
a
top of
former
the hill.
spy.
Yeah. Or just, somebody that is tired of the rat race and larger metropolitan areas, and they're going to come down here. They have, I believe, Brightspeed internet available right now, so it's 100 megabytes. It comes in over the phone
Wow.
lines. And they're on the list for Firefly, fiber optic.
Yeah,
It's
wow.
probably going to be 2025 by the time that's up here. But
And there's
it's,
a nunnery, a monastery, right? A nunnery
that's right.
that makes
Your
the best
stomping
cheese.
grounds.
Yeah.
You know that? They make cheese.
Excellent
know that.
Gouda.
No, I wouldn't eat that.
I know
It is
about that. Yeah, the
They're
nuns.
very-
The nuns
the
have
gals are very well
the cheese
fed.
going on.
Thinking of dabbling.
You're dabbling?
Yeah.
Well, that's Station C.
Yeah.
Station
Station
C.
C.
The C stands for cheese.
Well, let's. Where is
More like
Ben?
Christ, but
Where is Ben? Yeah.
yeah.
While we're waiting on Ben, there's another Station C member that just showed up. You're getting played off there, Josh. Da, 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 da,
Hand off. Tag out.
da, da, da. Come here. Come on. Come
Come on,
on.
Miss Mozzie.
Let's go. You've never been on camera before. Let's.
Today's the day.
Speaking of visions of beauty,
Indeed. Hello.
Come
on in.
come on out and say
hi.
hello. Say hello to
Mozzie.
the
I'm gonna hand the
people.
microphone off to you.
Yes.
Gorgeous. I'm
here.
speechless, you know?
What do you think? So you're
so
out
are we,
here
Mozzie.
representing Station C, and you're
Yes, sir. Station
you're
C.
checking things out.
It's beautiful.
What do you think?
Yes.
Speechless by the view.
Could be
Oh my
yours,
gosh.
Moz.
There's an 8-acre tract that's still available up there.
It's
So Mozzie
amazing.
is also a real estate 3 agent.
I am.
Most
Yeah.
fabulous.
Killing it, right?
Thank
Killing
you.
it.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
You're loving it.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
It's a huge passion. That's correct. Helping people.
Yeah.
That's what it's all
Yeah.
about.
It's all about helping people reaching their goals.
And you specialize in what? Relocations. People are coming from out of country, out of state.
Correct.
Yeah.
And military relocation and
First time home buyers?
first-time home buyers.
I pay
New
attention.
build. Just put a listing on
I
MLS.
saw that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Pretty awesome.
Have you ever? Is that your first new build?
That's my first new build. I'm excited.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you
And
be?
here I am learning more.
That's
yes,
right.
You learn every day.
Yeah.
Every day's about learning a
basically.
little something,
This
right?
thing is heavy.
It is
Right?
heavy.
Yeah.
It's a workout. You can
So let's grab Nick. Mozzie,
Come on,
thank
Nick.
you.
You're very welcome.
Mozzie, you
Thank you,
wanna
guys.
stay? I'm
gonna explore.
Yeah, let her stay.
Nick, this is all yours.
Thanks, Maz.
See if there's any other stations. See people roaming around out there.
Yeah. Grab them.
I got a hug.
Me too.
I consider the day a win. Hey there, Nick. No. Hey. Good to see you too. So we're joined here by Nick, and Nick is also one of the principals in Pillar and Perch, and one of the folks that helped design this amazing house and that amazing house, and I'm sure we'll be helping to up there. You talking to me? Oh. No.
Kiss the mic.
I felt like I was.
the mic.
Thanks. Yeah. If you missed it, Cindy said I was killing it.
Don't pop your peas.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so tell us about what's going on here and what you guys have got planned for up top.
So this is one of the two houses that we're building up here on the mountain, and we're getting through about the halfway point, more or less on both of them. So they should be finishing up this winter at the end of this year. Exterior materials are starting to go on. Rough out is being completed on the interior, and we'll start to put up the drywall and the finishes on the inside, and they'll look like real houses.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, instead of just frameworks of them. But it's exciting nonetheless to see everything that's going on out here, and we're equally excited about the opportunity that we have just right up the mountain there, which is a lot where the owner is looking to sell. So it's right in line with these properties. So the view that you see over our shoulders, that's akin to the view that is possible from that lot up there at top. So it's an outstanding opportunity. It's at the end of this road, so it's the most remote, which can be a good thing. So if you don't like people driving past, not that you're going to get many people up here to begin with, because it's kind of an exclusive road just to the handful of people who live along it here up the mountain. But it does have that extra benefit of being at the end of that road. So you've got kind of a private lot really up up there all by yourself.
Yeah, awesome. And so is there going to be anything that is a little special surprise up there? I heard about it. Is there an infinity pool that's in the plans up there?
There is an infinity pool. If the eventual
Gotta sell the sizzle there, Nick. Come on,
the
man.
eventual
Absolutely.
Purchaser wants an infinity pool, and that is possible.
Nothing's set in stone yet, right? So they can.
Yeah, nothing's set in stone. So they can really craft their own vision, their own dream up there. And that's what we've done with these two houses. Is
Right.
we've helped both of those owners really create that
How many hours,
vision.
as somebody just drawing the plans, how many hours does that take? I always wonder, like, when you're an architect, I mean, to just come up with something like this is amazing enough, but what is that manpower time? What is that on average? Or is there an average?
It's variable. It really depends. It to a great extent, it's a labor of love. So you're not tracking.
Right.
You're not tracking your time in that way so closely. But I would say our overall process to go from first meeting the clients, first meeting the future homeowners, and then taking them through that design process is about 2 months on average.
From when I first meet Nick and Ben and Danny and the whole crew, how long is it from when I meet you guys to when you guys say, there's your key? On average.
On average, I would say it's a little over a year.
Okay.
Yeah, the construction of these houses is somewhere, depending on the size of the house and the location, it's somewhere around a year, so plus or minus a month, and then the design work takes as long as it takes. So that could be 2 months or 3 months there. So If you want a safe estimate, I would say a year and a half.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right, Mess?
Sounds
that
great.
Would took you?
Some close to that.
Are you looking?
There's a big, tall, kind of lanky, country-looking guy back there. What's
He's
he
eating
doing?
a sandwich.
Grab him. Yeah, grab. Come here, Ben. Bring that sandwich. Be you. Don't change for us. I need a sandwich.
Sandwich?
A sandwich. I need something.
You need to see the Barbie movie is what you need.
I saw Oppenheimer, but yeah, Barbie.
What'd you think?
Oppenheimer was delightful. Was great.
Yeah.
I give it a 9.7.
Barbie will get a 10.2.
Okay, I know.
I
Barbie told me, she
I
said, "That's
thought
good
I'm
that
a
you need
big
to go."
history buff. I thought Oppenheimer would, but Barbie
Yeah.
stole the show.
I know that.
And by
Ben's a
Barbie,
big Barbie fan.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling.
You've already seen it like 4 times, right?
Thank
I
you, Nick.
did just watch The Flash, and that was awesome. I don't know if you've seen the scene where all the babies fall out the window and he goes and saves them all, but there's a dog falling down through the air with a giant tongue.
I'm on it.
Waving.
Oh.
And the whole scene is about this dog falling, like he licks the ice cream cone on, and like while he's falling, and it's awesome.
There's the movie reviews with Ben.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Tune in.
I've heard Barbie and Oppenheimer are, they say they're pitching them together. It's a weird
Barbenheimer.
pitch.
Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to see Oppenheimer first because it's the more depressing one.
And then you get pumped up.
Yeah.
Have you seen Barbie?
I've seen Barbie.
And I've
Is it
seen
good?
Oppenheimer.
It's way good. You got to take Amy and Lulu to see that.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
you will have no power in your
You
house.
have no
whatsoever.
power.
It's destroy the patriarchy.
You'll be exactly where you need to be.
Men.
Men.
Worst.
Yuck.
Kindle.
I've always wanted to build
Except Ken.
a big dollhouse.
You've always wanted to build a big.
Is this-
Big
Well, what's
dollhouse.
keeping you from it?
Yeah.
Hey man, it's out there. It's on the list.
All right, make it happen, Cap.
Like a life-size dollhouse? Like this?
I'd want to like mount it to the wall, like almost like a display.
Oh, wow.
So if you go to Williamsburg, Virginia, in Colonial Williamsburg, there's a contemporary art museum. Not contemporary, it's just an art museum.
Yeah.
And one of the things they have is there was this dollhouse that was discovered. Have you seen it? Cindy, you're shaking your head. That was discovered in an attic somewhere in New York. But it would fit maybe in where the blue tape is. So it's
huge.
You guys can't see it. Yeah, but the details of that thing it's crazy. So you should go look at that. Give you some inspiration. But anyway, inspiration. This view, this house. Tell us about clearing the trees for this view.
So that was a big undertaking. We started out and the trees were all the way up to the road. The whole thing was covered in trees completely. Even when they cut the road in, they cut trees, so it was just a completely forested lot. And the thing that I love about the trees is that, it's painful to cut down trees, but we're going to try to use as much as we can of the wood in the projects, which I think is just a different approach. But when we started clearing this, we actually had to coordinate with the neighbor's land. We cleared onto his land with his permission, but we started clearing and we didn't know if we were going to get views or not. So we cleared a little bit and we're like, oh, that looks pretty good. And we cleared a little more and a little more and a little more till we got what we thought was really a dramatic view. So it was day one, the plan wasn't to clear this much. And nobody really thought, we thought they would be, fall and winter views, seen through the trees. So the bottom line is if you have mountain views around here, it adds a ton of value. So the house is worth more with great views.
And you had to clear this so you could get some solar.
Oh yeah,
clearance.
you gotta if you're putting in solar. And the other thing that a lot of people don't know about is you got to clear for your septic, and the septic.
Yeah.
We pulled it up. The plan was, we pulled the septic up tight to the house, and the plan was to just clear to the back of the septic field. But I mean, we were clearing a fair amount of this, much more than just the house footprint. You got to clear for driveways, and you got to clear for septic. And there's this pesky thing called the reserve. So you've got to have 2 septic fields, room for 2 septic fields on the site. One, in case one fails, you got to have a backup, which really.
And they have a lifespan, right? I don't know much about it. I've always been a city guy.
Well, it depends how clean your diet is.
Yeah.
Vegans last forever.
Just saying.
There's a little picture of
saying.
veganism. It's not a phase.
It's not a phase.
Well, you can work on them and fix them, but sometimes, you know, they just, it's easier to just start over.
What was the biggest challenge and biggest revelation about this job right here? What was the coolest thing you discovered, but what was the biggest and also the biggest challenge?
So, I don't know if Nick told you, but there's 2 families involved. So we're building a mom and dad here and the kids next door. And there's always like, we put a nice roof on this one. We got some upgrades from Nathan on this roof.
ABC Supply, come on out and check us out.
And
biggest company you never heard of.
And the kids are like, well, that's nice. Where's our roof? You know? And
Come on, Nathan.
so just, it's been a balancing act the whole time. Just, you know, just the family dynamics, making sure, I mean, stuff that you might not think about just at the jump, but like privacy, like the stand of trees we left in between. It's not just for leaving some trees. We left it for privacy. The barn is situated to, you know, separate the 2 houses from each other.
Yeah, I see not a lot of windows on this side.
Yeah, we pushed that house as far away on the lot, you know, as we could reasonably from this house.
Yeah.
Just those are designing with that intent, and then also any project we do, one of our biggest things we think about is light and views. I think views trump everything when you're designing. Like we rotated the view we had of the mountains is best a little bit off center here. So we rotated the whole house to even though it's pulling the garage down the hill, which, you know, that's not great. We had to build it up, and it cost a little more basically, but we felt like maximizing the view was more important than the little bit of cost for the garage.
All right. Well, if you glance this way, the lady in the big G T-shirt is like, wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
So we're wrapping it up. Sydney's giving us mean looks. I don't know if you saw she's throwing stuff at me. It's getting awkward. So we are going to wrap it up, and we are. Thanks for having us out.
Yeah.
It looks like you got a.
Well,
There's at least 85 people back there. We couldn't get everyone on, but
I want to say a big thank you to you two for doing such a great job hosting the podcast. Y'all have
we
done
really do a great job.
Great.
And thank you so much, Sydney, for all the hard work of producing these. And
Well, she is great with child.
yes,
So
yes, that's so exciting.
That's a trooper.
But thanks, guys. Y'all have done a really good job. I don't know if you thought you were going to be news anchors when you first.
Nathan was born for this.
I was born for to be a soap opera star, not
Yeah.
this, but I've enjoyed doing it.
Tune in next week then.
Tune in next week because we got a banger. Hopefully, it's gonna be interesting.
Well, you're going to be doing your soap opera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good.
And supposedly we're going to be doing karaoke.
Man, you are
microphone
hooked on the
check.
karaoke.
Yeah,
this
we are.
guy is like a pit bull on a steak.
August event.
That's
The
okay.
third Thursday. There we go.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, September.
That's Ben's song already picked out.
Just letting you know.
All right.
I don't.
And Nathan likes big butts.
I know. I do. David Allan Coe, Never Call Me by My Name.
But we're also going to do that Kid Rock duet.
Yeah, a picture.
Yeah.
It's,
And
listen, it's gonna be magical.
There's black lights and body paint involved as well.
And sans the clothing. So stand by. You don't know where the paint ends, and we begin. I don't know if you want to know, but you're gonna learn. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be huge. If that doesn't get you there, nothing will. So cut them up season, everybody. That's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm doing it.
I take back the great part about the podcast.
All right. We'll see you next week. Have fun. Thanks for having us out here, Ben. See ya.